Clear efficiency, helping you get clear on the efficiency of your home. Okay, Shawn, I am up in the attic space right now, just taking a quick look around, seeing what it is that you have and seeing how it is that we might best be able to help you out here. So first and foremost, what we're looking at is the type of insulation that you have here on your attic floor. This particular stuff is called cellulose. For all intents and purposes, it's like a ground up newspaper. Very, very fine, very, very dusty in nature. It is no longer allowed in schools and hospitals because it's known to set off allergies like no other. I didn't ask you if anyone in your home has any allergies or goes into sneezing fits, but when this stuff gets back down into the home, typically it's what is setting people off more than anything else, okay? But that brings me to my second point, which is your levels, your depth, okay? And right now you're coming in right around the 7-inch mark, okay? So on average about an R19, that's right here. Just to put that in perspective, bare minimum code is now R38, 13.25 inches, that's right here, okay? And then the very most insulation that you would put in the home for the maximum effective insulation is 20 inches at R60. Anything above this is what we call diminishing returns, which means you can double up to 40 inches. It won't provide you any more value than it will right here at this 20. But at the very least, we certainly want to get you to code, okay? So pretty simple on that, okay? Insulation is done in increments. So the smallest increment is R19. The next is R30, R38, so on and so forth. Where you're at right now with an R19, bare minimum code is R38, so if you're just trying to get to code, we would come in here and blow another increment of R19 over the top of what you got, okay? If you wanted to go up more, that's totally fine too, and you'll have a little bit more benefit as you go up, but like I said, it stops right here, okay? And then R49 is the sweet spot right there between code and the best, okay? So pretty simple on that. You are not in SMUD territory, Shawn, so SMUD is the only utility company that does offer a rebate for this work. However, in PG&E territory, you're in Roseville, so you're not in SMUD, so no rebates for you on that aspect, okay? But like I said, your utility costs are typically higher, so when you do this kind of work, it affects you a little bit more, not just comfort, but as well as bills, okay? Now, there are definite signs of a rodent. There's certainly some fecal matter, and then the flat areas where they like to hang out, we see urine stains up here as well, and they definitely love the area above the attic hatch. So that area had a lot of fecal matter on it as well as this area of ducting. There is no law saying that you need to remove this, okay? So if you simply wanted to come in here and be more efficient at starting from where you're at right now, you could certainly do that by just blowing in insulation, okay? If you wanted to step it up a notch, okay, and you wanted to seal up the gaps so that the insulation and whatever else was up here stayed up here and didn't have the ability to come back down, now we're talking about a next level, and on something like that, it's going to address the bills more so, because now we're going to areas, I won't take you to a lot of areas, but I'll take you to a couple. We're going to all areas of penetration. So if this is your home, as hot air rises, stacks on the ceiling, and it looks for avenues to escape and get up in the attic space, we're talking wintertime. Obviously that doesn't help you out when your heat moves into the winter. And then vice versa is right now, the summertime. If it's only 95 outside, it's easily 120 to 140 at the height of temperature in the attic space. And that means heat and dust can get forced back down into the home, and it comes back through those same areas in which you were losing heat, which are all your penetrations, which are right here. This is just a speaker, right? And there's nothing wrong with how this was installed, right? But the only thing missing is that there isn't a foam all the way around the edge of this to stop the air from moving up, but also stop the hot air in the summertime from moving back down, carrying along the dust, right? And so that would be a next level, an option 2. Again, keeping what you have, but then doing what is called a seal and blow, otherwise known as air soulé, okay? And then the last thing that you could do up here, Shawn, is to have us completely remove everything, disinfect the space, and then start over, okay? And then at which point we could then seal the gaps on the attic floor and then re-blow back in R38 of the Pro Pink L77. The new stuff is a fiberglass. It is a non-toxic non-dust, non-itch. If you were to put this directly on your skin, zero irritational factor, which is why it's rated for schools and hospitals right now. Okay, and that right now is pretty much it, Shawn. I did take a look at your ducts. Like I said, you're not in SMUD territory, so you don't qualify for the rebate, but their rebate is $3,000, and it's contingent on insulation, getting to code, sealing all the gaps, and the ducts. That they won't activate the rebate unless your ducts are at least R6. Okay, so ducts have a quality, an R value to them, just like insulation does. And again, your ducts are already R6. You're not in rebate territory, but you already have good energy efficient ducts. There's only one level above what you have, and that's called R8. Okay, but with where you're at right now, there's really no need to upgrade for that. Your biggest effect would happen from insulation and or air sealing. Okay, that's pretty much it, Shawn, for this first level. Let me drop down to the bottom level here, and we'll see what's in that section as well. Thank you. Okay, Shawn, we are on the lower level section right now. Again, just taking a look around, seeing what it is that's here, and seeing how we could best assist you here. A lot of the same stuff here. Same type of insulation, same level, coming in at the R19. There is less fecal matter in this section than the other one by a lot. That one has certainly a great deal more. This area, I've only seen just a few pieces, but really no piles like what I saw up there. So, you know, I'll leave it up to you on how big of a concern it is, whether or not you'd like to remove it. But just so you are aware, less fecal matter down here. Yes, the insulation is still the dusty type, but just less fecal matter in this section here. Okay. Great ventilation here, just like the top area. I didn't focus on it too much while I was upstairs, but we do have soffit vents all the way around the home. So that's really good for good intake air. So good air into the home here. One very nice thing that you have here is that with these lower levels, bear with me as we do a little attic yoga here. With this lower level, it is still connected to the top level here. Right, and so we still have access to that top level. So the best area to put a whole house fan where it's going to be most effective is at the highest point in the house where all that heat is going to collect, right? And that's going to be upstairs, right? But we still have all this ventilation down here as well as the ventilation out there. So as that's pulling, that's still going to be pulling heat from down here as well and sucking all that back out of the home into the outdoors there. So again, that's pretty much it, Shawn. Just a few things to consider in my professional opinion, sooner rather than later. Thank you.